Here's the 1978 Mercury Grand Marquis, and the wiring to the heater blower motor has developed some kind of a problem. I haven't had any heater blower motor for a while now, and it's been pretty cold some of these mornings, and I've lost the ability to defrost the windshield while the car is sitting still. I do get a little bit of heat through ram air while driving, but I really wanted to fix the system to get the blower motor going again. I discovered that by putting 12 volt DC directly to the blower motor, it would run. So what I've decided to do is to use a relay to switch power to the blower motor and to run it directly from the battery terminal. I've put a fuse holder in for a 20 amp fuse, and then this relay will be activated by a switch on the dashboard. Right now I'm going to just wire it up directly to the supply line that feeds the power window relay, because I don't have the switch with me right now, but I figured I better go ahead and at least get this part of it done, then I can add the switch later. I only have ever run the blower motors on high on these vehicles, so I felt no need to have a low speed provision. But probably I could if I wanted to put in another relay and a resistor. And the temperature control on this does seem to work pretty good, so I can just modulate the temperature with the temperature control. So what I did here was to use a plug-in relay. It's rated for 10 amps per contact, and so I've done a parallel wire here, two 12 gauge wires to the fuse holder. And then on the output of the contacts, just paralleled those to increase the current rating. So I split the load up among the two relay contacts and put in two wires for less voltage drop and better current carrying capability. I'm going to mount this down here. I couldn't find a bolt right at the moment that would fit it, so I have to, when we go into town, I'll just get one. So I'm now ready to hook up the wire that goes inside the car that'll hook up to the switch, and I'm going to put the ground lead on. I don't believe in just crimping terminals onto wires. I always solder them. I learned that from an engineer at a radio station I worked for. He would always, after crimping the terminal, solder it on there, and that's what I did with the battery terminal there. Because solder makes a joint that is impervious to, or that air can't penetrate. A crimp joint, you can get oxidation in there, and it can start to corrode and become a bad connection. But the solder shields it against the effects of oxidation by bonding the two metals together and excluding air. So I'm going to solder this to make sure I've got a good connection. We'll bolt this to the chassis at the voltage regulator point, and then we'll hook the positive terminal up and run it back inside the car. Now we've got the relay completely wired up. We've got the ground connection to the coil made. We've got the positive battery connection made through the fuse holder with a 20 amp fuse in there. And I've got the circuit hooked up to the power window relay socket that I had earlier put in. I just disconnected it, and the power window relay is fed from a circuit that's hot when the key is either on or in the accessory position. So I've now got the car in the accessory position. When I complete the relay circuit, you'll hear the blower come on. So now I just need to put in a switch. I think I actually have got one. I'm going to try and put it in this little space, I think, where the rear window defroster switch would have gone. So I'll just take this faceplate off and see if I can drill a hole for the new switch. I'm now going to remove the knobs from the heater controls. And the way that you do it is that behind, let's see if I can focus in on it here, behind each of these knobs is a little retaining clip that you need to press in, like with a screwdriver, because if you try to just pull it off, it will not come off. I think I managed to damage the antenna one years ago and I tried to just pull it. But you got to release that little clip on the back to get it off. I decided to mount the switch over here as it was I think it was a better place, more convenient. And I just didn't want to drill through this panel here. So now I've got the switch in place and the defroster is working good. Let's make sure that it shuts off when the key is turned off. Okay, and it does. And so now all I need to do is just get the bolt to mount the relay to the fender, and this job will be done.